Hello friends, welcome back to our channel UiPath by Sujita. In this video, we are going to learn few more interview questions, say set number 3. So if you want to see all the interview questions related to UiPath and RPA, please refer from set wise. So set 1 and set 2 also been released. So before watching this, it is advisable to start from set 1. Okay. So let us see today's questions. Okay. What technical setup do I need to start with UiPath? Right. So what is the prerequisites? What are the prerequisites to start with UiPath? To answer this, first of all, we are supposed to have a UiPath Automation Cloud account, which is available as a trial run also. So if you want to learn, you can use that free Automation Cloud account as well. If you are from an organization, you are supposed to have a licensed one. Okay. So this is the first prerequisite, and then you will need the account to be able to install Studio, Assistant and Robo. We have already covered what the Studio, Assistant and Robo refers to, right? So if you want to learn from the beginning, you can go and use the playlist for the beginners in our channel. Okay. And then distribute attended and unattended licenses. Okay. So inside the Automation Cloud account, there will be an option to distribute the available licenses for attended and unattended. Okay. Next, provision robos and run jobs. So these are the technical setup which is needed, which is mandatory in order to start with UiPath. Okay. Right. Now next, move on to next question. What are different profiles in UiPath Studio? We have learned about UiPath Studio, right? So there could be a question similar to this, say, asking for what are the different profiles of UiPath Studio. There are 3 different profiles so far in UiPath Studio. Those are Studio X, Studio and Studio Pro. Okay. And simply you can give this like there are 3 and those 3 are Studio X, Studio and Studio Pro. But in order to get a good impression from the interviewer, it is always advisable to give at least a statement on a high level definition on each of these profile. So first, starting with Studio X. Studio X is meant for business users. Okay. Looking into automate tasks for themselves and their immediate teams. So these are especially designed, Studio X is especially designed to serve business users' needs in order to automate their tasks. Okay, simple tasks. Now let us move on to Studio. Studio is meant for RPA developers looking into build complex unattended or attended process automations. So RPA developers. Studio in the sense for RPA developers. What they are going to do using Studio? They are going to build complex unattended or attended process automations. Next, the third profile is Studio Pro. This is meant for more advanced developers. This more advanced IDE contains test automation tools, RPA testing and advanced coding services. So these are the differences between these profiles of Studio. We have 3 and we have learnt about these 3 as well on a high level definition, right? So this is going to be a short question for UiPath developer interview. Okay. Next, move on to the next question. What are attended bots? We have learnt about attended and unattended bots in our previous videos, right? So there could be a short question on either what is attended or unattended or the difference between attended and unattended robos. Now let us see what are attended robos. They are digital helpers for human users. Obviously, right? They work on the same machines as humans during the same hours. Attended attended in the sense they are going to work along with the human beings on a same machine, right? Next, they are triggered directly by human beings. Attended, the name itself defines this. So they are going to be triggered directly, attended directly by human beings, right? Usually through UiPath Assistant, not through Orchestrator, right? Yeah, exactly. Or by an event related to what the human user does. For example, what could be the event? For example, opening an application or receiving an email. Okay. So whenever a human being opens an application, it triggers that particular robot to do some activities, do some process and help human being in order to complete his day work. Okay. So this way, attended robots will work in parallel along with the human being on the same machine. Okay. Now let us move on to the next question. What are unattended robots? What are unattended robots? The name itself, the unattended. So they are not going to be attended. They are not going to be triggered by human beings, right? So let us see. These are meant to work non-stop with as little input from human users as possible. Okay. So these are going to work from Orchestrator. It is clear. They are deployed on separate machines and their jobs are triggered exclusively from Orchestrator. Okay, this is clear. Now let us come back to the first point. These are meant to work non-stop, right? They are not going to be paused or stopped as attended. Unlike attended, unattended works as non-stop robots with as little input from human users. We are not telling like there is no human intervention in unattended. There is a possibility to have little inputs from human beings even in case of unattended robots. Whereas the only difference is unattended robots will work in parallel, will not just wait for human beings' input. Instead, by the time human being responds to its, or by the time human being gives some input data, meanwhile unattended do some parallel activity, right? Okay. Now let us move on to the next question. What are the main capabilities of Orchestrator? So this is going to be a sure short critical question. What are the main capabilities of Orchestrator? Without knowing this, developers cannot kick the interview because it is quite simple. If you are not aware of the capabilities of Orchestrator, how can you use the Orchestrator, right? So you will come to know, the interviewer will come to know your capability in understanding the Orchestrator and how you are practicing and all with this question. So let us see what are the capabilities of Orchestrator. First, provisioning. Next, control and license distribution. Automation, storage and distribution. Running automation jobs in unattended mode and monitoring. Provisioning, right? It is going to provisioning in the sense robo provisioning, machines, jobs, all these. License, right? Next, control and license distribution. It is going to control the existing licenses as well as it will distribute the licenses. Next, automation, storage and distribution. It is going to store the automations and it is going to distribute between the robots and machines as well. Next, running automation jobs in unattended mode. So running, we can schedule or we can trigger, we can run it as an event in Orchestrator, right? And monitoring. It can monitor the jobs, it can monitor the schedules and it can monitor the robo performance and all. So these are the main capabilities of Orchestrator, right? Let us move on to the next question. What is automation first mindset? UiPath especially concentrates on automation first mindset. when any organization start thinking on RPA or UiPath to automate their process, they should start developing this automation first mindset. So definitely, if you are going to start any interview where for RPA or UiPath, this question might come. What is automation first mindset? To constantly look at the work and the process in your company through the lens of automation potential. So whatever work or whatever processes are going around you in the organization, if you have the automation first mindset, you will start looking with the lens of automation potential. How best we can automate this process instead of going through manual efforts. How best we can do this in a different way. How best we can use RPA tools in automating this particular process. So this way, when you start thinking or when you start applying RPA towards the process or towards the work around you in the organization, that mindset is nothing but automation first mindset, right? Next, what is a process? Business process. What is a business process? Business process is a process in any business with a set of interrelated and interacting activities that transforms inputs to outputs, right? So we have different components in this process, any process. Those are inputs, process flows, source applications, and outputs. And outputs could be inputs to different other process, right? So this is what is meant by business process. A process in any business with a set of interrelated and interacting activities that transforms inputs to outputs. Okay, so clear? Let us move on to the next question. Let us stop this today's session with this question. We'll meet tomorrow with few more interview questions as set 4. Okay, I hope you got a clear view over the questions you may face during UiPath interview through these sets, right? If you have not watched our previous sets, please go through them as well. These are going to be your different questionnaire. Okay. So thank you so much for your valuable support so far for this channel. If you have not yet subscribed our channel, please do subscribe our channel and click the bell icon and select all option. Do not miss the video notifications. Also, if you like these videos, please give a like and share with your friends and colleagues. Meet you through the next videos. Till then, happy learning and happy automating. Bye bye.